against higher education specifically.
Why do you think it is? Is it because you think we hate smart people, or is it that there's something happening here that we really think is troubling?
I think it's much easier to control people who are less educated.
See, now you're a conspiracy theorist. So, no, it's...
Anti-intellectualism is a hallmark of fascism.
Do you think we're against higher education because it largely has created an ungrateful, unprepared generation that goes into the American body politic and does not share the core American values of freedom of speech, gratitude for our founding, consent of the governed? In fact, it's hyper-radical. And it's against our traditions, our norms, and our customs, and it's created massive fissures. We call that the woke mind virus, if you will.
Okay, that makes...
It's not because people are easier to control. In fact, we love learning. I learn every day. In fact, that's why I'm pro Hillsdale College, where it's probably one of the hardest colleges in the country to get into and graduate from. The problem is that when you are learning largely trash and crap, and you're not going in the pursuit of truth, beauty, or goodness, and you're not trying to inculcate wisdom or good character.
There's no oversight on online political punditry to make sure that you're in pursuit of wisdom and goodness.
No,
like,
of course
you directly profit from propagating viewpoints that are more polarizing and that suck people deeper into more conspiratorial thinking.
Hold on. What you're doing is you're actually insulting the audience, not me.
What's up, YouTube? Hope you guys are feeling good. Today, guys, we're back giving to a new video. Today, we're going to check out Best of Charlie Kirk. Okay, this is going to be amazing to watch. I love to check the video out with you guys. Echoing Charlie kick because he loves kicking us. Let's get right into today's video, guys.
I'd like to disagree with you about college as a scam.
Okay.
It's a big scam.
Just because there's 50% of people who you say don't need college to get a job, why would it be a scam? There's a social impact about college, on America. College is, good.
The majority of kids that go to college when they graduate have a lower view of America than when they entered. Do you think that's a troubling thing?
I think just changing your opinion doesn't really matter too much.
Do you think that college teaches responsibility and hard work and...
Sure.
Okay, well, I find that hard to believe. Why is it that employers are more and more not wanting to hire college graduates and they actually want to hire people that didn't go to college?
What employers?
You can name them out, man. Walmart just got rid of their, even in their corporate level, so you don't need to go to college. Koch Industries, one of the largest employers in the country, from Georgia Pacific Railroad to Dow Chemical. They said we no longer want kids that have gone to college because they end up causing problems because they're super entitled and they're like, oh, what are my pronouns? And they have all this like left-wing nonsense that they've been filled with.
Well, then you have engineers, doctors, lawyers, people that
Sure, we need that, but that's less than 20% of the people that go to college.
Yeah, but
college is an
it'd be wrong to say
institution.
college is a scam if 25% of people become great people. Lawyers, doctors, engineers.
That's not what college currently is, though. Again, I'm happy to have you read the book. College is a scam. I wrote it. I can have a more wordy thing, which is the vast majority of people that go to college are receiving a scam for the money that they're borrowing. The vast majority. Of course, there's exceptions. You can make whatever you want with your life. I mean, you could. But I mean, when you enter into an enterprise, you need to know that you are
going to college
let me
more
prove
money
this to
at
you.
the end.
How many of you guys have to take classes that are a waste of time that you wish you wouldn't have to take? Every single hand. You're being scammed against your will to take classes that make you go further into debt. Why can't you say I don't want to take this class? Why as a customer you can't say?
Can you do a differential equation?
You what?
Can you do a differential equation?
Can I do
Can you explain to me the anatomy of a human?
Like someone off the top of my head.
You know what psychology is.
Yes, I do know what psychology.
Okay,
I've read
can you
Freud and I've read
explain
Jung.
it to me?
Do you want me to explain psychology?
Well, you can't explain it to the depths of a bachelor's degree or a PhD.
Well, hold
or
on a second.
master's.
Time out. I've sat here with no notes, no phone, and debated people with PhDs,
because you study
masters.
this because it's your job.
Hold on. I didn't go to college, man. That's the point. Is you can do whatever you want without a college degree. You can listen to podcasts, read books. You don't need to go.
Gauss wasn't able to go to the University of Göttingen. That's literally the reason.
I can't hear what you said. What'd you say?
You know Gauss, right? Mathematician.
Yes, vaguely, sure. Okay.
Vaguely.
Yes, vaguely, yeah.
Oh,
do you know who Milton Friedman is? Do you know who Herbert Marcuse is? You know who Thomas Sowell is?
Do you use a phone?
Do you know who Gouverneur Morris is?
Well, that's because of Gauss.
No, you don't. So I could do gotcha too.
Like
so before you
Euler
try to
went
get
going
off
to
your ivory
university
tower
is the
and
reason
understand that
he was able to become so proficient in mathematics.
So here's
and
the
change
thing.
the world.
The majority of kids that go to college
Most people
are
that get
more depressed than when they enter.
PhD degree are able
Secondly,
to perform much better in their field than someone who doesn't.
Well, then, if that's the question, if that really is true, if college is this amazing accelerant, then why do so many people...
I wouldn't say it is accelerant, but if you're looking at a field of science, right?
Let me finish, man.
And you want to accelerate that field of science,
course, or have you not done that yet?
You need a degree.
All right. Let me make my point. If that's the case, why do half of these kids end up with anywhere between $50,000 to $100,000 in debt? and they end up getting a job that says, oh, sorry, you never needed the degree in the first place? Why is that the case? Tell me.
Thank you.
People on average, once going to college, make more money.
Hold on, that's not true. They end up getting a job.
That is.
That's only if they graduate and it depends on the field of study. Do you know the average college graduate now is getting a job at $61,000 a year. The average plumber after 18 months, $68,000 a year.
Well,
the
sure,
average
but the
welder,
plumber
$72,000 a year.
With peers.
The plumber didn't go to college. The plumber went to trade or technical school. There's 11 million job openings that do not require a college degree in this country.
Well, who
11
engineered
million.
the stuff plumbers use?
I'm sorry, what?
Who engineered the stuff plumbers use?
I'm sure someone here. I mean, it's like
someone with a
it's like
degree
saying who
from
designed
college.
the airplane for the pilot to fly. I mean,
Someone with a degree that went to college. Pilots go to college?
I think you're misunderstanding what I'm saying. I'm not saying you get rid of all places of higher learning. The way it's currently comprised for you guys, the amount of debt you have to go into, the classes that you have to take.
Don't get rid of places of higher learning, but then you go on to
you're
say
interrupting me
college
every
is a
15
scam.
seconds. You're not debating in good faith because it is a scam. So let me ask you a question. Can you point to other things of American life the last 100 years that have been scams? For example, when they run an advertisement, they say, buy these pills because, we're going to make you super muscular. And they don't have all the fine print that it might not work and you have to have a monthly subscription. We shut down that business for being a scam.
That's a little different, though. That's a
How
product.
is it different? Hold on a second. When you show up to college, did they tell you you have to take all these classes that you didn't sign up for? Did they? It said that you're going to have to take all these different classes. Did they tell you that half of you guys would not ever use your degree when you go into your career? How many of you guys knew that? You guys knew that when you signed up?
Well, college is what you make of it, right?
You guys are willingly participating in the scam. Good for you. The point is this, is that most kids know deep down they're getting ripped off. The number one thing I hear from people across the country in corporate America, boy, college is a waste of time. Boy, I wish I never would have gone. Now I have $60,000 of debt, $70,000 in debt. I wanted to start a business, but now I don't have the credit to do it. Instead, we are wasting our most prized possession, our 18 to 22-year-olds, to go stick them at many universities when they shouldn't be here in the first place. And it is a failed project. It is making us poorer. And by the way, just look at the actual numbers over a period of time. Has it worked? Is homeownership now going up for young college graduates?
How are we going to blame that on college, though?
There's
a lot of different reasons that people are not able to buy homes.
It's the most equally applicable thing across the board for a generation.
I wouldn't say so.
And if you look at the average, how much debt do you have to go to school, by the way?
None.
None. Okay, wow. Are you on scholarship or?
Yeah.
Okay, so who's paying for your college then?
Probably the federal government.
Okay, so I'm paying for your college, is what you're saying. My taxes are paying for your college. So wait, you're on grant or what?
I'm not going to discuss my college finances with
Well, no,
you.
this is really important. This is why you're so defensive of college.
Yeah.
This is why you're so forceful. Because you don't have to walk around the rest of your life with $100,000 student loan debt.
I know plenty of people that have part-time jobs and go to college.
This explains you perfectly. I, the taxpayer, when I write my check to the IRS, I'm subsidizing your ability to go to college.
Okay. When
And I think that's a
write
huge
my
mistake,
check to the IRS, I
'cause
also give money for people to go to college.
You should have skin in the game. You should, and you don't right now. You are doing a freeloading thing. Of course you should be defensive of college.
I pay taxes. I pay federal taxes. I pay state taxes.
I'm sure I pay a little bit more than you, but that's a separate issue. But the point is this,
That's probably true.
Do you think you pay anywhere close to the tuition value you get at the school? Probably not.
Yeah, probably I do. It's like $5,000 a semester. It's a lot of money, but you get a lot out of
Wait,
that.
Hold on. How much is it to go to school here?
It's around $5,000.
So in-state?
In-state, yeah.
Okay, did that include room and board and tuition?
No.
Okay, how much does that cost?
Room, board, tuition, all of it's around $11,000.
$11,000 a semester. So you pay $22,000 a year in taxes?
No.
Okay, got it. So you're in a tax deficit, which means the U.S. taxpayer is subsidizing your education. That's fine. I'm not faulting you for it, but this is why you're so defensive, is you're detached from the price. You're detached from the cost. It's easy to be defensive of something you're not paying for.
Yeah.
That the
That's true.
determination of the Israeli capital should be something that should be settled in a Israeli-Palestinian bilateral negotiation for the creation of a Palestinian state, which is something that the Palestinian people should be able to have. They should be able to have freedom. They should.
So they do have freedom. What freedoms do the Palestinian people not have right now?
Well, I mean, currently.
Name one freedom. Have you been to the West Bank?
Something they lack freedom of movement.
Sure they do. An Arab in the Palestinian Authority can travel to Israel, Jordan, Syria, Lebanon, in and out with any sort of restriction. I've been to Judea and Samaria. I've been to Hebron. I've been to the Golan Heights. As a Christian, thankfully, I'm allowed in there. You know, all my Jewish tour guides and my IDF friends as Jews are not allowed in the West Bank. Why? So what freedom don't they have?
Well, you know.
No, I don't know. Can you name one freedom that
the Palestinian people do not have?
He does not know.
I mean, look,
Or is that just a talking point with no evidence?
look, sophistry aside for both of us, just there's an imbalance here between between Israel and Palestine that the current Israeli government.
What imbalance? Can you build it out for me? Because you haven't been able to name a freedom they don't have. Did you know that the Israeli government gave up the Gaza Strip in pursuit of peace in 2006? And it was immediately taken over. 10,000 Jewish settlers left the Gaza Strip in pursuit of peace in 2006, and it was immediately taken over by the terrorist group Hamas, which is one of the richest parts of Israel. Israel gave it up voluntarily because they thought it would give them peace, and the PA didn't give it to them. So what freedoms does the PA not have?
Well, I mean, honestly,
this is really important because you come up here and say Ilhan Omar said nothing wrong. You make a factless, evidence, totally absent of evidence statement. The Palestinian people don't have freedom. Say one thing, please. Defend yourself. So,
look, I came out here not completely prepared.
well, it's because it doesn't exist. So here's the thing: the talking point is factless. The Palestinian Authority exists as a governance structure over now what is truly Judea and Samaria, which has always been Israel. Do you know where the word Palestine comes from? You probably don't.
Arabia Palestiniana,
No,
which was the Roman
it was Philistine.
province.
It was Philistine, which is which is a Roman term, which only goes back about 1,400 years. Israel has always been the home of the Jews, dating back for 3,500 plus years.
Sure.
Israel is mentioned over 635 times in the Torah. Jerusalem has zero religious significance in the Quran at all to the Arab Muslim people, yet it's mentioned 637 times. Yet under Israeli control, the Arabs and the Muslims still get total and complete access to their holy sites. Yet where the Arabs control areas, the Jews are not allowed to visit there whatsoever. Why is it the Palestinian Authority pays the families of terrorists that kills Jews? They have a pay-for-slay policy. Thank God that President Trump just finally defunded it. I encourage you one thing. Don't believe the facts and the narrative that are just coming from the media, because you're just wrong here, and you obviously can't defend your position. Go and visit the West Bank yourself. You'll see the facts up and close, because you're incorrect.
I have a disagreement about the whole Palestine-Israel thing. I promise not to take up as much time as the last person who was up here. But I'd like to open with maybe like a little statement, which is that, I'm not too partial to either particular side of the political spectrum. But I think that a sad reality is when we talk about the Palestine issue, it's the Gaza Strip is 50% people under the age of 15. It's about 2 million people and about 5 to 25 square miles. And the reality of it is that Israel has said they're going to make a complete siege of the area. They've cut off electricity. They've cut off water. And that's kind of a sad reality. And the reality is they also can't leave. There's only 2 ports of entry and exit. And so as much as you or others might be pro-Israel, how do we not condemn the Israelis for taking away resources like water from a population that's the majority children? And at what point do we say that it's kind of an open genocide, right? Like when Israel, well, I mean, I know it's easy to.
You realize on Saturday they killed 900 Jews, right?
I understand. I understand.
One side's doing the genocide, the other side is retaliating.
One side's definitely swinging up and one side's swinging down. And I think that when you're a strip of land in which all of your water, airways, and electricity is controlled by a state, which you can't leave, and it gets bombed by missiles, I don't really think it's quite equivocal. I mean, obviously everyone here can condemn the killing of civilians, and that's not a debate that I'm going to have with anybody, left or right.
Sure.
But at what point or time, you say you criticize Republicans, but why don't we ever criticize Israel for what they're doing by turning off water? I mean, how? Well,
I'm not going to criticize. Again, let me just ask a hypothetical. If Cuba came to Miami and killed 50,000 Americans, should we cut off their water? Answer the question.
No, absolutely not.
Okay, I disagree.
You think we should cut off water to
if the Cuban government came and killed 50,000 Americans, which is the population equivalent, right? Sure. So 900 Jews would be 50,000 Americans.
Yeah.
I would completely support war against a country that kills 50,000 Americans. Cuba is the same, about similar distance, right? So yes, I would restrict food, water. It would be all-out war against a country that touched our homeland.
Well, you know what they call all-out war against a populace of people that are stuck in an area? It's a genocide, right? And so as much as I agree...
No, hold on a second. No. First of all, if that was the case, why is Israel telling civilians to leave a certain area, number one?
Well, only that are allowed to leave,
hold on a second.
Right?
Wait, hold on. I'm sorry. What?
Like, are Palestinians allowed to leave the Gaza Strip?
Well, they're moving to a different location of the Gaza Strip before bombardments happen. That's number one. Number two, they're already talking about humanitarian corridors being built. Did you know that? They're talking about humanitarian corridors being built with Egypt. So there's already a plan from both the Mediterranean side and the south side. But honestly, I'm not going to overly specify this because war is a really brutal, nasty thing. And you could say whatever you want about Israel. We're not going to agree on it, right?
Sure.
Israel did not invite this war.
No, I don't think so either.
Right, but they have to retaliate, and war is the worst thing humans do. Here's my prayer, that Israel doesn't overreact, Americans don't send troops, and that this is short, and that the terrorists that did this are held to justice. That's what we need to publicly say. But I am not, and you're right, there are kids that are going to die. That pains me. The heaviness should be on you. But the answer is you just kind of roll over and allow people to come into your country, into kibbutzes, into concerts, and mowing down people and say, you know, catch you next time?
I'm just not entirely sure what water has to do with the conflict, Mr. Kirk. I just don't see how the Israelis, the Palestinians, the PLO, and Hamas
honestly,
can use water.
Two things. Here's the issue. The Palestinian Authority is too busy spending $300 million a year incentivizing the slaying of Jews instead of actually going and purchasing water filtration services, you know, all sorts of different things there. Number two, so they build their headquarters under hospitals. It's a fact. They use the entire population of women and children in Gaza as a massive 2.5 million person human shield. That's sick. There are no good solutions here. There's not one that I'm going to say this is wonderful and beautiful and glamorous and this is excellent. It's all crummy. It's all hell. And they invited hell. And something that we like to gloss over as Westerners is we get to live in a very peaceful society, relatively, and we don't realize that sometimes you need a Dresden. And that's a really hard thing to swallow. But guess what? What we did in World War II to defeat the Nazis was 100% morally defensible. And there were people that also died. Israel has a right to defend themselves, and they're going to retaliate. And Hamas, they brought this upon themselves. They were the stewards of those women and children. And as stewards of those women and children, they said, we don't care about the women and children enough that we're going to go into the other. They knew what was. You're trying to tell me that they're shocked that they're getting bombarded and their water's cut off and their electricity is cut? No, they invited it. Final thought.
Sure. I wouldn't necessarily say they, but I do understand the sentiment, right?
Okay.
I do agree that Hamas brings it upon
But
themselves.
I think we can agree. Here's what I will say. I do not think U.S. troops outside of very specific special forces to rescue Americans, which I'm sure you might be able to agree with, should be involved in this conflict.
Yeah.
We cannot allow ourselves to get into another Middle Eastern quagmire that Lindsey Graham and Nikki Haley and Mike Pence might try to get us into. That is something we can agree with, okay?
If you have a cure to diabetes, wouldn't you want to sell that cure in the marketplace?
I would want to distribute it to everyone for free.
But
that's why I'm in the field, because
can,
I would.
Can you name one example of one thing that's ever been given out for free by the government? Because there's nothing that's free. It's paid for by somebody at some point at some level of distribution.
Okay, I mean, how about Jeff Bezos, who has like $50 billion or something? He can afford to pay for that, right?
How did Jeff Bezos get his money?
By exploiting his laborers and not paying them enough.
If he's exploiting them, why do they work for him?
Because they don't have another opportunity to get a job.
But there's more job openings available in America than actually people we have to fill the jobs. There's 7 million job openings. People at Amazon say they love their jobs. Their wages are going up. They get health care. They get health insurance. They get promoted.
I mean,
average
you
wage
cannot
at Amazon
honestly
is $30
believe. Like,
an hour.
can you really, in good faith, say that that's a good job that people like?
Have you ever used Amazon?
No, I actually.
Never.
No, I don't buy
you
from them.
You use Starbucks.
Okay.
So Starbucks, that's a billionaire. You know how rich Howard Schultz is? He's worth $5 billion. So you're participating in his exploitation.
Starbucks has better working conditions for their employees, though.
Well, how do you know that?
Because they have like a $15 minimum wage.
Wait, so Starbucks billionaire good, Amazon billionaire bad. Just so we're true.
I would not like either of them to be billionaires.
Then why are you buying Starbucks? You're participating in the market economy.
Well, it's impossible to buy things without participating in the market economy.
You could have went to a farmer's market. You could have bought something outside.
There's no farmer's market here.
There's no local coffee in Columbus at all.
No,
There's
not
no
near my house.
non-billionaire coffee distributors.
No, and I
You
think
could have
that
gotten
just
a Keurig, you could have gotten local, huh? You could have gone Buckeye Donuts. They don't serve Starbucks coffee. The point is, it's very easy to critique billionaires while you swish your Starbucks latte back and forth, made possible by a guy that wanted to become a billionaire. Why? Because of a profit motive.
This was made possible by the workers who made it, not by some
No, it's
guy.
actually made possible by you, the consumer. The workers wouldn't have a job if you didn't buy their product. And guess what? It took Howard Schultz to risk everything, take out 2 mortgages on his house, to start Starbucks in Seattle on a total idea when people thought he was nuts and crazy, so that you can sip your latte and tell me how much you hate capitalism.
I actually never said that.
You said that the workers should own the means of production, and you said that you want government to run healthcare. So.
I didn't say that either, although I do believe that the workers should own the means of production.
It's absolutely vital we expose the far left in our institutions and continue our work on campus and across the UK and in defending both free speech and conservative values. So please help us by clicking the subscribe button. Thank you.
Do you view democracy as an American value, something that's very important to the fabric of this country?
No. Where is democracy in the U.S. Constitution?
Oh, okay. So are you...
No, hold on. Where is the word democracy?
I don't think the word democracy is in the Constitution.
So where is the word democracy in any of the founding fathers?
A lot of the founding fathers had extremely elitist viewpoints around who should...
No, hold on. I just want to... You said the word democracy, so I want to get back to our roots.
Yes.
Where is democracy mentioned?
I don't...
In the Federalist Papers, the Constitution, or the Declaration?
I think it's good that this country has moved away from things that were
So
explicitly believed by the founding
in the Federalist
fathers.
Papers, and it's mentioned negatively as a problem. So you asked me, is democracy a fundamental American value? I say no.
Okay.
Because I go back to our roots. And
do you,
Hamilton, Madison, and Jay...
Oh, I know that Hamilton was anti-democracy.
No, well, hold on,
these people thought that people should be owned as
I want to be clear. I am pro-representative government, but I'm not pro-democracy. That's a big difference, and that distinction is important. But you asked very specifically about democracy, which is not an American value. It never has been and never should be, because what is democracy? Democracy is majority rule no matter what. That there's no provisions of checks and balances, no inalienable rights, no separation of powers, pure if the majority gets it, the majority wants it as quickly as possible.
I don't advocate pure democracy. I do understand that we live in a representative, like we live in a republic, and I understand these things.
Representative government.
Okay.
And you might say I'm splitting hairs on words, but I'm not.
Well, just coming from a place where on some level we have a level of democracy in this country and people vote and it is part of their civic duty to vote.
Sure.
Yes. Do you not think it is in the greater interest of this country at large that its citizens are as educated as possible to therefore be able to participate in that system?
I think they should be as wise as possible, and I don't think that education and wisdom are the same thing.
Yeah,
in fact,
I understand.
I think college disincentivizes the cultivation of wisdom.
In the age where there is such a hypersaturation of, and we've seen this, like extremely polarizing, different, like people are getting their news from wildly different sources.
Yes.
People just don't interact with the other side at all. Do you think that being an autodidact in any sense of the term is going to give you a thorough and rigorous education if you are so likely to end up sucked into these holes where you're never interacting with people who
That's not my only form of learning. I meet a lot of cool people. I learn from people like you and others. I mean, I'm listening when you're talking. It's not just a shtick. You haven't won me over on any of it, but you had an opportunity to. But I'm glad you attempted to. But yeah, I mean, you learn in other ways other than just sitting in a classroom, listening to a professor drone on for 90 minutes and pretending to read his book and paying $20,000 a semester to cheat on the exam at the end of the semester.
I think college is what you make of it. I
agree. So is life.
People are selling themselves short on their education if they don't.
You can listen to as many podcasts as you want. You can meet interesting people. And
academia does have an actual level of You have to prove that you're worth your salt, at least to have peer-reviewed papers published, which you don't have to do to start a podcast.
If you get a PhD, yes, but hold on. So is your contention that I'm not informed or not worldly or not wise? I want to be clear.
I'm not making any claims about your specific level of being informed. I'm saying the general rhetoric on the right against education, against higher education specifically.
Why do you think it is? Is it because you think we hate smart people, or is it that there's something happening here that we really think is troubling?
I think it's much easier to control people who are less educated.
See, now you're a conspiracy theorist. So, no, it's...
Anti-intellectualism is a hallmark of fascism.
Do you think we're against higher education because it largely has created an ungrateful, unprepared generation that goes into the American body politic and does not share the core American values of freedom of speech, gratitude for our founding, consent of the governed? In fact, it's hyper-radical. And it's against our traditions, our norms, and our customs, and it's created massive fissures. We call that the woke mind virus, if you will.
Okay, that makes...
It's not because people are easier to control. In fact, we love learning. I learn every day. In fact, that's why I'm pro Hillsdale College, where it's probably one of the hardest colleges in the country to get into and graduate from. The problem is that when you are learning largely trash and crap, and you're not going in the pursuit of truth, beauty, or goodness, and you're not trying to inculcate wisdom or good character,
there's no oversight on online political punditry to make sure that you're in pursuit of wisdom and goodness.
No,
like
of course
you
there's not.
directly profit from propagating viewpoints that are more polarizing and that suck people deeper into more conspiratorial thinking.
Hold on. So what you're doing is you're actually insulting the audience, not me. Because the vast majority of this audience actually enjoys watching my videos, and they enjoy hearing from me.
I never said your audience didn't enjoy watching your videos.
Because you say I'm profiting. The way
you do profit, like you financially, you make a ton of money from getting more clicks.
The audience rewards me because they find that I bring some value.
Well, I don't
and that they
necessarily
learn something
think
from
that
me.
whatever gets
I
the
want to get
most
to the next
eyes
question.
on a specific...
But it's easy to attack me as exploitation. What I say is actually very popular and resonates with people. Thank you for your time. I appreciate it. Thank you.
Okay, this was really, really interesting to watch. I love every moment of it. So let's start from the first guy who would not agree with Charlie that college is a scam. Okay, I totally agree with Charlie with this one. College is an absolute scam. Number one, if you go into college, you're not majoring in like major courses like the doctrine, the engineering, what's the other one again? Law. It feels like you're wasting your time in school. Frankly speaking, it's not like it's a bad thing. People who do like tech stuff, is it thumbs up to you guys. You guys are really brave to do such courses. Aside that, there are also other courses people do in school that I feel like it's a waste of money. Like in terms of like, they tend to go into depths after college. It's not everyone that is built up or meant to go to college. You understand? I believe that college enlightens you and gives you more knowledge about things you don't know. And you being in a group of class with certain people tends to elevate your mind. But at the same time, you can read books for that too. But the experience will be different. But what I'm trying to say is that if you know that your degree is not substantial, you understand, in a way, it's not like you don't have first class or second class or what. It's just that you finding a job is going to be really tough, number one. And you're using the degree for a long time, which won't actually benefit you. And you going into depths after you're done with college. It's not what's the degree for me. You find it hard to pay back your college. It's terrible. If you ask me, it's very, very terrible. I will never support that. This is a big scam. But if you're into all this doctrine degree, law, fame, and stuff like that, okay, I can tend to support you. But for you to get the job, it's going to be tough. Right now, because that's what Charlie is actually fighting for. Americans should come first before other citizens. You understand? From other immigration citizens from other countries, Americans citizens should come first. So if you are to application to find a job, they should first approve an American, a pure blood indigenous American first, someone with a passport, before a foreigner. I support that 100% because this is your homeland. So you have to be put first before a foreign body. You get. So college just come in terms like would not get full measures what our time after college. When you're done with school, you know that reality hits different. I've been through that and I know how it feels. I already know it before I ever enter college. I know from my siblings and also other people who went through college. It's tough for them to get a job. So when Charlie says college is scam, I tend to support him for that. You understand? So I understand where he's coming from. Also other people who have actually talked about college being a scam. Like there's a lot of people that are talking about they wasted their 4 years in school. Some people actually spent 6 years in college. And up to today, they're not actually using that degree. So the next guy was talking about Israel and Hamas. Like, this war is a very, very serious thing. Over 1,200 people died October 7th or October 1st, 2023, which is a very, very big issue we are having in the world globally. I do not support killing of people in Palestine or also Israel or Jewish people. I do not support that. But what is happening right now is that The land in question that they are all fighting for actually belongs to Israel. Israel got their independence, I think 1948 or 1947. The land actually belongs to Israel. The time of the Bible, it proves, if you follow the line, you see that it actually belongs to Israel. But it's just that I feel like we have to come to one state solution in the aspect of like Israel and Palestine should live in harmony. Because they can't divide the land. Dividing the land will solve the issue. But coming together and choosing that, okay, let's live together and see how it goes. Before, I was first thinking they can divide and they will be able to live peacefully. They tried that peace deal in 2006 when Israel left Gaza for Palestinians. We all know how it turns out to be 2023, 2024, 2025. They are still fighting over that same land. So the best deal right now is to come together, build up Israel back. Israel and Palestine live together, even if they have differences, but in a very minimal way. That is the best way, because they can't divide the land. Divide the land will solve the issue. It will keep on increasing the chaos. But they're living together is the best peace deal. Do you understand? I've seen a family who the woman lost, I think, her son or her daughter. Then another man from Palestine, I think he lost his son or his daughter. It's been a while ahead of news. They are friends. The mother, the woman and the man, they are friends. They are both past through losses. I think the woman's child was in the military. I think something like that. They are both have losses, and which is very, very painful. But they are both able to like put down their differences and come together. That is what Israel and Palestine need. They need to put down their differences and come together and build up that country back. There is nothing like separation in land. It won't solve that. It won't solve that. They have to come with one peace deal. That is what's going to solve this issue. That guy who came here talking about Israel, that Israel is treating Palestine bad, he did not know any history about Palestine. He did not know any history about Israel. And the second guy who also came and talking about they cut off the water supply, electricity. Israel have gone against international war regulation. That itself was terrible, going against international war regulation. But if you ask me, October 7th, I think so, when they killed over 1,200 Israeli Jewish people when they were having some festival, any country will be very furious. You killed 1,200 people. That is not a joke. No, those are human life, not animal, not cattle. So any country will be pissed. So then cutting water, I do not blame them. Frankly speaking, then cutting water, also electrical supply, I do not blame them. Because any country that they killed 1,200 people, you will be furious in order to retaliate back. So then cutting the water supply, I do not blame them. But then going against a lot of international law and regulation, that I do not support. That is actually very, very terrible, if you ask me. Then the last guy who said Charlie was actually ripping off people is making a lot of money through people. Bruv, Charlie is doing his work. Knowledge is money. Your idea brings out cash. So Charlie itself is someone who is educating, enlightening young, bright youths in order to know the right path for them that they should take ahead of time. In order for them to know the difference between Democrats and Republicans, which side they support, which side has the better interests of America at heart. So you don't come here and tell me that Charlie is actually ripping off people. They already have a lot of supporters who are donating money to him, back to back, who are buying his merch, who are also watching countless number of his videos. I'm a big supporter of Charlie. Do you understand? If you check my channel, I actually react to a lot of his videos to promote. But he's a really great man. He's a great father. He's a great husband. He's someone who has better interests of America at heart. See this flag? Charlie really carries it to pride. Do you understand? So this girl coming here to talk that bullshit, she's just saying for her own self. And she should have to listen to what she's saying because she's saying crap. Charlie has better interests of America at heart. He have always been having the interest ever since long time. I've seen Charlie's video of like 7 years ago, 8 years ago, probably 10 years ago too. His morals have not changed. It's still the same. You understand? That itself speaks a lot about someone who has standard. So this guy coming about to say Charlie is making profit of it, as if Charlie just woke up one day, boom, then he started receiving cash. It spoke the truth, and the truth, part of you saying the truth, there are benefits that comes with it. People buying your merch, people also donating to you. It's part of the benefit that comes. So you don't see channels ripping. You don't know what me or ripping off people. It's very terrible words to use. Comment down below what you think about this video. Give us a thumbs up. Share this video to as many as you can. Subscribe to our channel, guys. And we'll see you guys in the next video. Make sure you stay safe.